My dear brothers and sisters, today I want to speak on a topic close to the human heart: God's divine way of guiding you to the person He has chosen for your life. Many people chase relationships, but very few seek God's timing and God's will. When God introduces you to your soulmate, He does it with purpose, clarity, and divine order. You don't need to chase, force, or manipulate anything, because what God sends cannot be stopped by man. When God plans to introduce you to your soulmate, the very first thing He does is prepare your heart long before the person arrives. Many people focus on searching for the right person, but God focuses on shaping the right heart. He begins an inner transformation that often feels uncomfortable. He highlights your weaknesses, your old wounds, your insecurities, and your emotional habits, not to shame you, but to heal and strengthen you. Before God gives you a blessing, He prepares you to carry it with maturity. You may notice God pulling you into a season of isolation, self-reflection, or spiritual growth. You may face situations that test your patience, humility, forgiveness, and ability to love without fear. This is not punishment, it is preparation. God knows that an unhealed heart cannot recognize the blessing standing in front of it. He knows that unresolved pain can sabotage a relationship that is divinely meant for your future. So, before sending the right person, He works on your ability to trust, to communicate, to lead with love, and to let go of past hurts. Sometimes this preparation comes through challenges, friendships ending, unexpected disappointments, or emotional struggles that force you to face your deeper self. God uses these moments to reveal what needs cleansing and what needs strengthening. He builds patience where there was impatience. He builds softness where there was fear. He builds wisdom where there was immaturity. God shapes you into someone who can not only recognize your soulmate, but also honor them, support them, and build a life with them. When God prepares your heart, He is not delaying you. He is protecting you. He is making sure that when the right person arrives, your heart is ready to receive them without doubt, fear, or confusion. This preparation is God's loving way of ensuring that your future relationship is not only beautiful but lasting. When God decides to bring your soulmate into your life, He aligns your paths with divine precision. This alignment is never accidental, random, or coincidental. God works behind the scenes long before you even realize something is happening. He moves circumstances, adjusts timelines, and orchestrates events in ways that seem ordinary on the surface, but are deeply supernatural underneath. You may think you met someone by chance at a place you rarely visit, during a delay that frustrated you, or through a situation you didn't plan. But in God's kingdom, there are no coincidences. Every step is ordered, every moment is intentional, and every crossing of paths is part of His divine map. Often, God's alignment begins with delays and detours. Maybe you didn't get a job you wanted, maybe your plans fell apart, or maybe you faced a setback that changed your direction. What felt like disappointment was actually redirection. God was positioning you closer to the exact place where your soulmate would also be. Many people miss God's plan because they fight the delays, not realizing that divine timing is shaping the path ahead. There are times when God brings two people through similar experiences, struggles, or seasons, preparing them separately, so that when they meet, they recognize each other's spirit instantly. Their paths may have never crossed if God hadn't aligned their journeys perfectly. And when the timing is right, the introduction feels natural, peaceful, and purposeful, not rushed, forced, or chaotic. This divine alignment reminds us that God is the master planner, He knows where you need to be, who you need to meet, and when your heart will be ready. So when your paths finally cross with the one He has chosen, it will feel like everything in your life, every delay, every detour, every closed door was leading you directly to that moment. God's timing is not early, not late, but always perfect. When God is the one connecting you to your soulmate, He does not lead you into confusion, emotional chaos, or inner conflict. Instead, He gives you a deep and undeniable sense of peace. This peace is not based on perfect circumstances or flawless emotions. It is a spiritual calmness that settles in your heart even when your mind is still processing everything. God's guidance may not always come with loud signs or dramatic confirmations. It often arrives quietly, through a warm certainty that this connection is right. Many people mistake excitement, attraction, or emotional highs for God's confirmation. But these feelings rise and fall. True divine confirmation is steady and unshakable. When the relationship is God sent, you don't feel pressure to pretend, perform, or please. Your heart is at rest. There is no anxiety about being replaced, no fear of abandonment, and no confusion about your worth. Instead, you feel valued, seen, and respected in a way that aligns with God's love. God's peace also protects you from relationships that drain you or disturb your spirit. If someone constantly brings emotional storms, arguments, or uncertainty, that is not the voice of God. He may use discomfort as a warning sign, showing you that this person is not your soulmate, no matter how appealing they may seem. Peace is God's way of saying, move forward. Chaos is His way of saying, step back. This inner peace will guide your decisions, your conversations, and your steps. It will help you recognize the difference between temporary attraction and lifelong purpose. The right person will not complicate your relationship with God, they will deepen it. And as your spiritual peace grows, you will know that this connection is not built on feelings alone, but on divine confirmation. This quiet assurance is God's signature, marking the relationship as part of His plan. When God is preparing to introduce you to your soulmate, one of the most misunderstood parts of His process is the removal of the wrong people from your life. This removal can feel painful, confusing, and even unfair at times, but it is one of the clearest signs that God is making room for someone better aligned with your future. God sees what you cannot see. He knows the motivations of every heart, the intentions behind every smile, and the direction of every relationship. So, when He begins to separate you from certain individuals, it is not rejection, it is protection. Often, God will allow certain relationships to fade, not because they were meaningless, but because they were not meant to go with you into your destiny. Some connections may have taught you lessons, helped you grow, or brought comfort for a season, but they cannot match the purpose He has planned for your life partner. Holding on to the wrong person can block the arrival of the right one. That is why God sometimes uses distance, disagreements, sudden changes, or emotional shifts to loosen your attachment to people who are not part of His divine plan. There are moments when someone leaving your life feels like a heartbreak, but in reality, it is a divine intervention. God removes people who drain you, confuse you, distract you, or keep you stagnant. He clears away those who don't value your spirit, your calling, or your growth. And although the process hurts, the purpose behind it is always love. God never takes something away without preparing to replace it with something greater. As you look back, you will realize that everyone who left created space for someone who fits your heart in a deeper and more spiritual way. The emptiness you feel today is simply God making room for the person He has chosen for your tomorrow. Trust the removal, it is part of His beautiful plan. When God unites you with your soulmate, He does it with purpose that goes far beyond emotions, attraction, or temporary excitement. Human feelings rise and fall, but God's purpose is stable, unchanging, and eternal. A relationship built only on chemistry may fade when life becomes difficult, but a relationship built on divine purpose grows stronger under pressure. This is why God brings someone into your life who doesn't just make you feel good, but makes you become better. The right person strengthens your spirit, encourages your calling, and aligns with the mission God has placed on your life. Your soulmate is not someone who simply completes your loneliness, they complement your destiny. They walk beside you, not ahead of you or behind you. They challenge you when needed, support you when you feel weak, and celebrate the victories God brings your way. With them, you feel motivated to grow rather than pressured to shrink. Together, you begin to see how your individual purposes blend into a shared assignment, whether that assignment is ministry, family, service, or spiritual impact. God also uses purpose to filter out the wrong people. Someone may attract your eyes, but not fit your journey. Someone may catch your attention, but not support your spiritual growth. Temporary people rely on feelings. God's chosen one relies on purpose. That's why when the right person arrives, everything starts aligning: your goals, your values, your faith, your dreams. You feel like you're walking in the same direction, not dragging each other in opposite ways. In a God-ordained relationship, love is not based on convenience, it's based on commitment. It's not built on perfection, it's built on understanding and grace. And because it is rooted in purpose, it stands firm even when circumstances change. When God brings two souls together with purpose, no distance, no distraction, and no challenge can tear them apart. Their union becomes a testimony of God's plan, not human effort.